Hi everybody, it's Susan from Sunrise Quilt Studio, and today I am breaking down my long arm machine. We have about 2 weeks before we have to move, and we're getting down to the wire here. So it is almost 8 o'clock at night. My husband and I spent most of the day running around between the two towns and getting some things set up that we needed for the move into the motorhome. So we went out to the site and decided where we were going to put the motorhome. Our lot is sloped, so we had to find the most level spot we could. We went and we bought a shed to put all the lawn equipment and that kind of stuff in, and then we found a storage unit to rent. We already have one, but it's not going to be enough since everything's going to have to be stored, since we're going into a motorhome instead of another house. So we need more space, and I'm just hoping that is enough space for everything. So we'll find out. But I wanted to show you what I'm doing. Not every long arm is going to be different depending on what type you have, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. But for a Gammill, there is a document you can download from longarmsupplies.net. That's Linda's Electric Quilter's site. It's a free document. You can download it and print it off, and it'll show you step by step how to take apart your table, which is what you need to move. So first thing I did was I pulled out all of the drawers that were underneath it. I moved everything off of the top and removed the pattern that I had laying underneath the clear sheet on the pattern table. So now I've got the clamps, and I've got those all rolled up, and I've got them in bags, so in just plastic quart bags, zip style bags, so nothing special. But basically for this machine, what you need to do is take the rollers off, at least the take-up roller. That has to come off before you can take your machine off. And then there are things that you need to do to the machine so that it's safe to set it down, just because of the encoder. You want to protect the encoder on that, and that's the part of the stitch regulator system. So we want to protect that, and we need to wrap it up, and then we'll just move on with deassembling the table. Now I have a 14-foot table, and I know they don't make those standard anymore on the Gammills. Those are kind of a special order if you want them. So it's a big heavy table, and my husband and I are going to do our best to do this by ourselves. So we did it once before, but that was 15 years ago, so we're both older. Neither one of us are as in good a shape as we were before, so we'll see how it goes. But we do have a friend who's going to help us move it into the storage unit. So anyway, let me show you what it looks like at the moment. But here we go. It's all cleaned off. You can see there. I have a couple of down there on the end. That's where I'm wrapping up all of the clamps. I have 2 sets of clamps there, my old set, and then I have a newer set that's the Velcro is shorter, so it's not as useful as the original set. But I got those all in the baggies, and let me see if I can zoom in so you can see those. They're right there. There's the one on the left is black with an orange clamp, and then the one to the right of that, it's white Velcro with orange clamps. And that little wire basket is what I had those stored in, and the little red things are part of the red snapper system, and then the green bag is my first aid kit. So I still have that out, and I need to put that somewhere. And then down here there's the tools that I think we need to take this apart. I think my husband's got some other tools he's going to bring in and help with that. So, and then the machine is all unplugged, it's ready to go. I'm going to dust it down, and I'll wrap it up once we get it off of the machine. There's the machine right there. I've got it unplugged at the moment, so it's ready to go. Okay, we've got the table disassembled, and this is what it looks like. We've got it setting on sawhorses, which was not mentioned in the directions, but we found it to be a good method of getting the legs off of the sides of the table. So you might want to use that. That way it takes the weight off and you can get those legs off easier. That was the last step. So everything is disassembled, and let me show you all the pieces. Okay, another thing you will notice is I have painter's tape on the rollers. That's holding the canvas in place so it doesn't come loose. So we have that on there, and on this far end, right back here, we left all the rollers, all the handles on the rollers, all the wheels, and the direction said to take them off. But there's a lot of little pieces in there that you need to keep track of. So we just left them on there. And the main thing is that you don't want those poles to be resting on the wheels, because that'll put pressure on that and it could bend the pin that's holding them on there. So we got blocks of wood and put them underneath the poles, so that underneath the rollers, so that the handles aren't resting on the ground. So that helps, and we'll just do that when we're in storage. And here you can see the sawhorses we used. Now this is just a temporary thing. We're gonna put these in storage in the next day or two, and this table is going to rest on the floor of the storage room, and then we'll put all of the rollers on top of the table, and we'll make sure that the wheels on the handle, the turning wheels on the rollers don't have any pressure on them. So we'll do that. Now these, I'm being very careful around this, because if I jar this table, everything could come tumbling down. So I'm being very careful around it. But that's how we have it. And down on the end is, you can see there's no legs on this end. Those are over here. I have them setting up against my cutting table right there. So one thing you might want to do is to take pictures or video of your long arm before you take it apart. I failed to do that, but there are plenty of diagrams, and I've had this machine for 20 years, so I'm pretty familiar with it, so I think we can get it back together. So I think we're fine. So I don't know what else to tell you other than you know, keep track of everything, keep the label anything that you take off and you don't put back on, and get some good directions. Now the directions I got from Linda's Electric Quilters. It's a free download. It is 20 pages long, but it covers all different types of Gammill machines, and a lot of that can be applied to different brands of machines. So you might want to look at that and see if that'll help you with your brand of machine when you take it down. So I hope this helps. Okay, here's the machine head. We took it off and we laid it on an old quilt, and this is actually a coverlet. It's not basic. It's a quilt, but it's just a one fabric piece quilt, and it's old, and I just decided this one could be sacrificed. So, you know, the machine is going to drip oil while it's sitting, so you need to put it on something that you don't mind getting oil on. So it's going to set on this, and I'll use it to wrap it up in when we move it. And it's best to move the machine in your car in a soft surface, like on your back seat of your car, or, you know, if you put it in like your van in the back or your SUV in the back, make sure you have straps to strap it in so that it won't roll over. So this is just going to sit here for a little bit, and then we'll put it in storage. But never lay your machine on the side. That's not good for it at all. So you want to keep it sitting upright like this. So there is my Gammill all ready for a move. It'll go into storage for the next 6 to 8 months, and hopefully it'll still be in good shape when I'm able to get it out and use it again. Thanks for watching. For more quilting ideas, click on the video links, and to keep up with my latest projects, click on the subscribe button. I hope to see you again soon.